Design Salvation, Episode 19.
This is Design Salvation, your lifeline to better design with Dixie and Annie. Our mission is to share our conversation with you so we can all elevate our work and lifestyle. Welcome to the fold.
Hey, y'all. It's Dixie Stark.
And Annie Lundquist.
This is Design Salvation.
We are sitting here having our Sassy Water.
Ooh, we are having Sassy Water. We're getting sassy. You know, I just decided that Sassy Water was the right thing for us today.
It is the right thing. It's super pretty. I've never had it before. I love the name, of course.
I know. I don't know why they call it Sassy Water, except that you feel sassy after you drink it.
Well, you feel healthy. I don't know.
Yeah, you're feeling sassy. It's got all kinds of good stuff in it. It's got like cucumber and let's see, ginger. That's what you're liking.
The ginger. Oh, I like the spearmint too.
And the spearmint and lemon.
And the lemon. Yeah, it's really good.
Just really tasty.
It's really
Anyways,
tasty.
I thought that would be a nice, healthy choice for us.
Well, we are drinking a lot of water lately.
Yes, we are.
And a lot of good, healthy stuff, except, yes, most of the time. I mean, 95% of the time.
95% of the time.
And so we do, and along those lines, I am, I've been struggling with a few little health things that are going to be a little more considerable than we anticipated. So we have a travel update along those lines. So we had talked last time. We were super excited about Paris.
I know, because we had an invite to go to Deco Off in Paris.
We did.
We actually were literally about to pull the trigger and wipe our schedules out and totally be a part of that invitation. And then we decided it was not in our best interest.
No. The timing's not right for a big international trip. So we're going to save that for a big splash to do next year.
In a year.
Yeah,
let's do it in a year.
For sure. So we're going to do different type of travel with y'all.
We're going to road trip.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about road tripping.
And I love it. As long as we're going somewhere and moving, then I'm excited.
I just think it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
So we're just going to hop in the car and we're going to go to some of the local, it's not local, but I mean relatively drivable, close
2,
cities.
3, 4 hours away. We've got a lot. We've got Vancouver. We've got Portland. We may do a longer jaunt to Sun Valley.
Which would be totally fun.
Our friend Claudia. Hi, Claudia.
Hey, Claudia.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're drinking Sassy Water and a whole bunch of other water versions. We'll still have the occasional
we're going to have cocktails.
Just super weak.
We're still going to have cocktails, but today it's Sassy Water.
Today it's Sassy Water. We are all good.
I like it.
Okay, so we don't really have a topic as usual. But
we never have a topic.
No.
We just kind of roll with it.
We have occasionally, I think we've had topics twice. We had a paper topic and we had an aesthetic topic.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we've had two topics. But this
mostly
time,
we just talk about what's on our mind and what's, kind of happening in our design world.
So I think today we're just going to do sort of random questions.
Do a Q&A.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got an idea. Okay. Which may be actually your idea. I'm not sure. But anyways, you can ask me a question. I'll answer it. I'll ask you a question. You can answer it. If we want to chime in, that's fine. It can be totally random. It does not have to be all design.
Okay, good.
And you can pass if you want to, which I think we've kind of done before, but we'll elaborate a little bit more today.
Yeah, I think you should be able to pass because you might not like all my questions, or you just might not have an answer right now because it's not.
I know it's not fresh on our minds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you going first or am I going first?
I'll go first.
Okay. What do you have?
Okay. This one's kind of personal.
Oh, boy.
So you have a relative that you bring up on occasion, and her name is Aunt Minnie.
Oh, yes,
Minnie. And I think that Aunt Minnie was very influential from a design standpoint in what you chose to do in your life. And I think that our listeners would love a little glimpse into your inspiration.
So it's not really a question, but you want me to answer.
Okay, I can phrase it as a question. Tell me about Aunt Minnie. Oh, no, that's an order. Dixie, do you have a special relative that influenced you in design?
Yes, my Aunt Minnie.
Okay, good. Go.
Okay, first of all, Aunt Minnie wasn't my aunt.
Oh.
I just called her Aunt Minnie.
Oh, cute.
She was my mama's best friend.
Mama.
My mama. So anyways, Aunt Minnie loved antiques. And Aunt Minnie literally was Minnie. She was less than 5 feet tall. She always wore these high heels, that had the little straps over them, They look like something out of the 40s, but hers were probably not that glamorous. But boy, did that lady have some taste. She had antiques from all over the world, and even her house was tiny. I mean, everything about her was tiny. Good. It was like, Minnie was Minnie.
Minnie was Minnie.
I loved her so much. She would let me just come over in the afternoon and just sit and talk to her, She always had this bowl of peppermints, but they were actually those peppermints that were all the different colors. So you might get an orange one, you might get a green one, you might get a red one.
Oh, that's such a little grandma thing to have.
So much fun. Cute. So she would be like, now you come in here and you sit down and get yourself a mint. She'd call it a mint. Anyways, Aunt Minnie killed off about 6 husbands. I'm not kidding. I swear she did.
Because she outlived them, or she
outlived 6 different husbands, and she lived to be in her late 90s, and she was something else now. And she wore her hair up in the big old bouffant kind
beehive
of thing.
Thingy.
But she had the most amazing taste. And I would go over to her house, and I'd get my mint, and I'd sit in this little bitty chair, and come to find out, my mom has the set that I always sat in her little parlor. It's from the late 1800s. She got it somewhere like down in Louisiana or whatever it is. And I don't even know what the style is of it. I just know that it's old, and that's unusual because we're in design. But she would tell me about all the different pieces and where she got them and what she did. And she always wrote letters. And so she had a lovely secretary, and she, but she'd tell me where they came from and blah, 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 and how she found them and all that. And she was very influential, and she always was mixing it up.
Yeah. So you mean mixing up, changing her house around a little bit, buying new pieces?
Oh, yeah. I would come in, I'd be like, Aunt Minnie, is that new? And she'd be like, yes, darling.
Yes,
and darling, and she'd tell me all about it, where she got it and how she got it and all that. And she lived in the same hometown at that point in her life. She lived in the same hometown as myself, but she did move around with those husbands a little bit all over the state. And so there were times that I would have to go somewhere
farther to get your mint
with my parents to see Aunt Minnie. But anyway, she's very influential because she loved antiques and she loved beautiful things, and she lived that way.
Yeah. She lived with the beauty.
She lived with the beauty.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that. Okay, great. Fun? Great inspiration.
I know. It's so much fun. Okay, my question may be a little bit less fun. What's your latest obsession?
It's a little, yes, it's a little tiny one. And actually, you sort of walked right into it the other day with your little happy that you brought me from. Oh. Yeah. My obsession. I always love having candles lit and everything. And I usually
always have candles lit.
I always do. And I use the little clicky lighters, of course. But
one
lately,
right
that one right here. We have our grapefruit candle going. But lately, I can't even remember where I got reacquainted with real matches. But there was something so satisfying about that sulfur smell.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
Is
and
nice.
Striking the match that now.
The process.
Yes. And I'm not the only one obsessed. Like, you brought me the most gorgeous big tall matches in a wine bottle with a cool cork. I'll put a picture up of it. I love the gift. And it's so funny because I had just bought a bunch of little hostess gifts because I'm seeing matches everywhere right now.
Yeah.
In the glass bottle with the little striker tab on it.
So much fun.
Mine isn't. The ones that I got, I'll post a picture of those too, aren't quite as dramatic as yours because you gave me the big, long, tall, awesome ones.
I wanted you to use those for your fireplace.
And I will use them for the fireplace. So it's matches. That's the easy one, isn't it?
It's totally easy. I don't know that I really have one.
You can pass. You don't have one right now, maybe.
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I have one. I
Okay.
have one. The rings.
Oh, y'all.
rings.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Dixie spoiled.
This is so good,
us.
you guys.
Yeah,
this is so good. Okay, so I was at the design center, and one of the sales associates I worked with had this really fantastic ring on. I was like, wow, where did you get that? I have always, since I was little, gosh, is this like a whole like podcast about when I was little? I don't know. But anyway, since I was a little girl, I've always been obsessed with cameos, intaglios, that whole, I've always been fascinated by it.
intaglio.
So anyway, she had on this ring and totally different color palette than, of course, what I selected for us. But the company's out of Italy. It's called Grand Collection or Grand Tour. Tour Collection.
I think Grand Tour is something. It doesn't sound very Italian or very chic.
It doesn't sound Italian
or very romantic or anything, but it is
amazing.
And it's relatively
affordable. And anyways, what they do are intaglios in all different shapes and colors. And they do bracelets and they do necklaces and they do rings. And I got Annie a ring. I got myself a ring. And I'm kind of obsessed to the point that like I'm ready to place order number 2.
Well, I'm on board with that because I've been studying that website. Like, what's my next one in my collection? So we'll do that together. But we've got to post. I was
easy to wear.
Excited because I, of course, and like a lot of women, I'm super hard to buy for, and jewelry in particular.
A risk.
Yes, and to have a friend be able to buy you a piece of jewelry that you adore, it's kind of earth shattering. It's major. No, it's major.
So
okay, maybe I'm dramatic, but I love it so much.
It's really funny. Of course, I got Annie's in blue.
Yeah,
and of course, mine's in black. What's new about that? But it is kind of my latest obsession.
That's a good one.
I'm kind of like, what's going to be the next thing? So, anyways, yeah. All right.
Okay,
you're up.
I'm up. Oh dear. Okay. What is do you have a favorite app or website right now?
Okay, I probably shouldn't answer this way. You really want to know what I'm so happy about right now?
Yes, I do.
I finally downloaded the ChickfilA app.
So you can pre-order like your Starbucks coffee.
First of all, ChickfilA is something that when I first moved to Seattle, I was like, we don't have a Sonic. And we don't have a ChickfilA.
I don't like Sonic.
Oh,
but I
like the drinks. It's the drinks. And I know, and everybody's going to just slam me for this. But living in the South, it's all about the ice and it's all about the cup.
Okay.
And it's the styrofoam cups that everybody's wanting.
Styrofoam.
And they're really bad. I know. But boy, they keep your drink cool. But anyway, so I was all like, wallowing in the fact that we didn't have either one of those. But now we have Chick-fil-A.
So you don't have to wait in line now?
I don't have to wait in line. I can do it just like Starbucks. I can order in advance.
Do you have to find a parking place, though?
Do what?
Do you have to find a parking place? That's hard to do there.
No, they have little designated spots that say this is where you pull up if you're going in to get your food. And so you can do that. And it's just it's like, I do the same thing with Starbucks. You know how I am. I just, I load everything on the app because we're on such the go. And I just don't have time between appointments. And I'm only like crazy on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are my appointment days. I'm out in the field. I don't have a lot of time. And even if I do pack a snack, a lot of times I just need something else to drink or a bathroom or whatever it is. And Chick-fil-A,
I'm so excited for you.
I know.
I'm thrilled for you. No,
I'm
really
excited about it because I've been blowing a lot of dough at that place. And I'm like, okay, I have no rewards. I have nothing. But now I do. So, neener. There you go.
That's a good one. That's hilarious.
Chick-fil-A.
Okay, good on you.
Okay, I kind of know the answer to this question I'm about to ask you.
Can I tell my favorite app?
Wait, do you want to talk about your favorite app? What's your favorite app?
Well, I think I've mentioned it before, but lately, I've been the RealReal has been so working for me. I've liked that site for a long time.
You have
all the consigned clothing, but lately I have bought 4 pairs of jeans on there. That are my perfect.
On the RealReal?
4 pairs. They're $50 each, and they're like J brand, J brand or frame denim, which I like. Yeah. And they have my size, and you're like,
I'm just doing it. I'm just doing it. The RealReal also has home goods.
It does, and I have 2 chairs from them.
You do not.
I do
Which
too.
ones are they?
The two in my bedroom, the big fat recliner, not recliner.
Stop the club chairs.
The club chairs.
Stop the madness.
And I didn't recover them.
You know what? They have great stuff. So the RealReal, if people don't know, of course, is, a place where people consign their good luxury items.
Yeah, and it is mostly clothing.
It is mostly clothing and jewelry and handbags and accessories, but they have broken off into the home goods.
Yep.
And so you might find pillows, you might find lamps, you can find some smaller pieces of furniture. And I just am like, wow, why didn't I think of that for my answer? Okay.
Well, I liked your answer. Yours is funny. Mine's just normal.
No, yours is design related at least.
Not really. Not really. Okay, whose turn is it?
Whatever.
Are you asking now or am I asking?
Okay. I'm asking. Okay. So do you have, and I know the answer to this, and those of you that follow us on Instagram or keep up with us or are pals of ours probably know this, but what project do you have that you're super excited about, whether it's your own or otherwise?
Yes, you do know the answer.
I do know the answer.
Yeah,
I
am absolutely so excited. And we have brought this up before a little bit, but it's really, really, really happening now.
Okay.
Is my bedroom. My house. So excited. My bedroom. And, our bedroom, I guess. Yes, sorry, Lovey. Deeker just whatever, he's happy that I'm happy doing it.
Yeah, of course.
But yes, so that and we did that little teaser because Dixie had never been upstairs before in my bedroom. She'd seen the kids' rooms, but I was a little self-conscious about it. Just
never
because
let me go in your bedroom.
No, because it was so unfinished, and as you all know, the bed's on the floor and da 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 da. So I finally let her up the other day,
and it's so charming. You guys, whatevs.
Okay,
I just wanted to go whatever. It's so charming up there.
Well,
it is so lovely.
It's very unfinished.
It is unfinished, but in a very, very refined. I don't know how to describe it, quite frankly.
I think, your eyes are different than most people's, sweetie, because you can look at that space and know where it's going. I think there are a lot of people who would walk up there and go, what the heck? There's nothing in here. The floors are practically bare.
No, I just think you feel that way.
Okay.
You literally have some of the most attractive, beautiful pieces in there.
Well, then I have the tension rod with the curtains sagging on the floor from Home Goods that they're, that's what I see.
You do, but the windows are so beautiful.
The windows are pretty.
Matter.
The windows are pretty, but that is I'm really
it's
dreaming about this forever, and I'm doing a custom bed I'm copying.
Wow.
I have a friend who's brilliant. She's helping me. We're going to do kind of a total knockoff on a Givenchy bed that he had at Le Jonché. And we really want you all to come along on the before, during, and after. Now that I've made myself vulnerable and let Dixie up there, I'm going to let all of you all up there, and we will do it together.
Okay, y'all don't understand. So Annie's all conscientious about, what, is that right? Conscientious?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Did I say that wrong? It sounded weird when it came out.
No, it sounded good to me.
You're feeling all conscientious about it and stuff, but it's just.
Oh, self-conscious.
Self-conscious. See, I knew I had it wrong. That is so
did.
Weird. But it's so beautiful up there. The architecture is dialed in, so that is lovely. There are some things that are perfectly imperfect, I would add, that you just have lived with. And it's almost like the way the Europeans live anyway, where, you get a stain on the marble and it's been used, and that's patina. And you live that way. And you live with beautiful things, despite the fact that there are other things that are imperfect. And it is lovely.
Oh, thank you,
but it will be fabulous.
I cannot wait.
Like, it's lovely now, but it's going to be polished and fabulous in a totally different way when, you take it to that next level.
You just get to a point, and this has been the year with these health challenges, where it's like, I want a beautiful room to heal in, and that's going to happen, and I'm doing it. So this is it, guys. And, we were talking about we're kind of toying with the idea of even doing some more special content little video specific. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, let's just talk about it. Even though it's not the Q&A, let's just talk about it.
Well, we'll get back to the Q&A.
Yeah, we'll get back to it in a minute. No, we're going to do some kind of like special marketing because, the podcast is getting some traction. This is good.
We're little baby podcasters, but we feel like we have a direction.
And, we're getting some traction. And so for our supporters, and our supporters, we got cute little apostles and missionaries and saints. For the supporters, we're going to have special content where it's like live chat, but it's FaceTime video.
Yeah, so like we might do a FaceTime in the bedroom and really go through the details that we do or something that's a little more.
That's the perfect project for it.
Yeah, I think we'll start there and see what everybody thinks. So yeah.
And nothing is rehearsed. I mean, we're totally doing this just live.
I think that's obvious,
on the fly.
I don't think we need to say that.
But I'm just telling anybody and everybody. Yeah, we're really not rehearsed, are we? Okay, whatevs. But yeah, that's just kind of one of those things that our supporters can look forward to is a little bit more of a live feed on that.
That'd be
blow by blow.
That's going to be super fun. So if anybody that's on our website that you can become one of our little special people.
Yeah.
Special Salvationites. Okay.
Exactly. So I know you're going to work on your bedroom. I have a question. Can I ask?
That was your question, but ask away.
Oh, I'm skipping. Okay.
That's okay.
What is your favorite white paint?
Oh, okay.
Because I know I asked you what color you thought you might do up in your bedroom.
Yeah. So I have a favorite white paint. But unfortunately, it's a Pratt & Larson. I mean, you can still copy it. It's called Half and Half. I've used it for years. It has a little tiny peachy underglow that really helps, but it's still a bright white. I do always read what other designers' go-to whites are.
I find in the shelter mags and stuff.
Yeah, I find it kind of fascinating, but I don't often deviate. There are a couple I've used for clients that are Ben Moore paints. One is called Collector's Item. That's a warmer white. And then the whiter version of that is called Vapor.
Okay.
Those have been good too. But that's not
Vapor. I don't think I've ever used Vapor.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Now you've piqued my interest.
Yeah.
And that's Benjamin Moore.
Those are Ben Moore, yeah. Those are Ben Moore. All right. And those are in that AF series, and I like that AF series.
Yeah, I do. I like the AF series. I have to tell you, I was mad as hops when it came out, though.
Were you?
Well, yes. I was like, come on, people, quit adding HC, AF, AC. Like, it's very, very confusing, and it was confusing for the longest time because you had all these different fan decks, and I was like, oh my gosh, why do I have to have so many paint decks?
It's true.
Why
okay, what's your favorite white?
I really love Benjamin Moore's OC 17. Now, I always get the name wrong. Is it Dove White or is it White?
I think it's Dove White. Yeah,
it's Dove White. Yeah. It's Dove White, not White Dove. Why do I want to call it White Dove? But I love that paint because it is a warmer.
Is that what you have here?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a good white.
I'm pretty sure.
It's a good way. I mean, I don't think you can say, I don't know what you think about this. I don't think you can say to anybody, this is my, there's a go-to white in Washington, but there might not be a go-to white in California. It would be completely different.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be different depending on where you're located. And I always have mentioned this before. If you're in the woods, that's one thing. If you're facing the water, that's another thing. I mean,
you do always say that.
Southern exposure versus northern exposure.
Well, and tell them again your thing where you always face away from the window to look at your paint color.
Always. I always put the light behind me. And this is just, so that you can see the paint color. And then if you're really struggling with white, the best thing to do is to go get something else that's white, preferably like a piece of printer paper, just something so that you can get clarity on the undertone.
Yeah.
Does it have that peachy undertone? Does it have that blue undertone? Is it,
I saw the other day, I think I saw it on Instagram probably, but they have those Ben Moore samples that stick to the wall now.
Yes.
That's so smart.
It's very smart. And Sherwin-Williams is doing that now too.
Oh, good.
I have not had to go down that route since they've come out though.
Yeah. I think so for certain, because then you have to put the stupid blue tape back there and make it all look just distracting.
Yeah, it's very distracting. Yeah.
Super distracting.
That's C2 used to do those big, huge poster-sized samples.
Well, and Ben Moore does those too, but only in just so limited. And I use those all the time.
I know.
Why don't they continue that?
I'm not.
I think it's too expensive.
I think it is costly for them to do that, and I'm not sure that they're getting that rollover of productivity out of the sales. I guess.
Okay, we have to go back a little because I didn't ask you what your favorite not favorite, but what do you have coming up that's super cool? Either here at the house or I'm getting a new front door too. That's my other big.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you have it yet?
Yeah, it's laying in my entry, and the little guy with the weed eater went around the other day, and he's not supposed to because I have all those little marble, my pathways,
you have peat gravel,
crushed marble.
Mm-hmm, marble.
So he broke 2 windows, 3 actually, on different days after he was told not to get that weed eater next to the window. So there are 2 broken little panes in the current door. So we look really shabby right now because I'm not replacing them because I'm replacing the whole door.
Right.
Which actually won't have any window, won't have any natural light. It'll be different, but it's going to be solid.
Oh, nice.
I'm so excited.
That's exciting. I can't wait to see that. Is it pine? Is it stained or?
It's a VG. I think it's like a VG for a straight line. It's going to get painted though.
Okay. So
it's going to get painted. Yeah.
Okay, good.
But we've had, so the door that's there was always going to be a temporary door. We got it for $125 down at Pacific Iron, and we stuck it in there thinking we'll replace it next year. So 18 years later.
Here we are.
I
love that you're getting a new door. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So anyway,
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
That was a little side note.
Yeah. So you go.
So I have almost like a little tiny house that I'm going to be working on. And I'm very excited about it because it's less than 1,000 square feet. I'm not taking this project on because it's going to be like the most, financially
lucrative
rewarding
thing. Yeah.
I'm taking it on because it's going to be fun.
Oh,
it's just so cute. Anyways,
well, and you must like the client, or because
I love the client. She is fantastic, and she's single and she's savvy. And anyways, it's a little tiny house, and we're just going to do. It's not technically a tiny house, but the house is small.
Yes, I got.
And we're going to do a major renovation of it, and because it's so small, there's not that kind of burden of this is so laborious. It's pretty easy to pull it together. It's been
so.
Easy
what will that
working
entail? Like just a few drawings on your part, and then
don't have to do much. I just have to do about 5 or 6 elevations. No big deal. I'm doing a little floor plan rearrange, but it's minor because there's only so much square. I can't talk. There's only so much square footage there. We don't have the capabilities to reinvent the wheel completely.
Yeah,
but we can go in there and cosmetically change it, and I'm just so excited about it because I'm going to be able to use a color palette that's neutral but yet fun.
Oh,
and
fun!
That's kind of it's not going to be black and white, but there's definitely going to be those elements of black and white, and then offset with these great other shades. And I'm just excited about it. And I
like that you have a project that has a beginning and end date that's not a big long timeline. That's nice for you.
It really
most
is.
Most of your projects are really from the ground up, and
they are lengthy. I mean, I work with clients for usually 2-3 plus years because the projects take that long. And this one, and I normally don't like a remodel. I've always said, I don't love the remodel. But for some reason, this project interested me.
Good. I love it. I can't wait to hear it.
And I'm taking it.
Good.
And it's not what I normally do, but it's just so stinking fun to me.
I love it.
And maybe it is because it's a short term.
Well, you deserve that. I think that's great to mix it up a little bit too.
It's all good. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that.
Who's next? Oh, I asked you.
Wait, you asked me. Oh, now I have to ask you.
Well, it's okay if you don't have anything.
Okay, do you have like a new reading material book? I know you're not into the book thing, but is there some other reading material
I'm not into the book thing.
Well, I mean, like,
I read. I'm a reader.
You are a reader, but I'm like, lately you told me you're like, I don't know. I'm not reading the book.
No. Well, okay. Lulu just gave me, and I haven't started yet, that one about where the crawdads sing or whatever. That's
that's on Reese Witherspoon's something.
And Lulu just ran through it. She loved it so much. And so I'm excited. That's my next book. I know I'm going to love it if she did. So
okay, well, I have a funny story about that.
Oh.
So not about that book in particular, but this was very interesting to me. Maybe that's the reason I had books on my brain. I was like, oh, yeah. I had a project 2 or 3 weeks ago where I installed some bookcases, and I used antique, lovely, lovely collections of novels and all this,
So they had pretty bindings.
Beautiful bindings. They were absolutely outstanding. And super sophisticated, but a little shabby at the same time.
Yeah,
and
nice.
I was so proud of them because I had managed to find these lovely collections that were in, sets of 20 or sets of 15 or whatever.
And with that
I had the right color palette.
Yes.
They had the right, and I had just gone whole hog. I'm like, okay, these are perfect. I'm just rocking these. I put them into the bookcase. I do all the bookcases. And the client goes, I don't like the fake books.
Fake? Did she go look at them?
I was like, well, these
fake. Oh, for the love, I tell you. Oh my
goodness.
Fake books. Oh my goodness.
So fast forward.
Okay.
I take everything out and I'm like, okay, not a problem. I get what you're saying.
So what did she want?
She wanted things that she said if she or her guests or whomever was in the space could just go up and read something very easily and
so
have
just
something
like
interesting.
Whatever,
so she wanted off the shelf Barnes and Noble, whatever. And I'm like,
which always looks like a hot mess.
It looks like a hot mess, and I'm sitting here panicking, going, "Oh, great! How am I going to make these bookcases look good?" And I'm thinking, okay, well, do I gradate the color? I'm trying to figure out, like, do I just randomly put these in there or whatever?
No, there's no way to do
shopping.
It. Yeah.
And when I went shopping, I decided to go to Half Price Books.
Oh, yeah.
Because I needed long, extensive runs of, like new off the shelf, releases.
So you had to do all that.
That book was on the hot list.
Oh, it was.
And I picked it up and the gal was standing next to me and I got the last one. And she was like, oh, I came in here to get that. And of course I gave it to her.
I'll give you mine.
But she was talking about how cool it was, and it was on Reese Witherspoon's list of books and how it's just gotten all these great reviews, and that every time she came to Half Price Books, they would get a shipment in and then they'd be gone. Well, and so it's going to be a good one for you, I think.
I'm glad you were generous because I can give you mine. And the book I read just before was on Reese's list too. So she must have a good list because I like that
and
book.
I'm not really following that.
Of course, I can't remember what the heck I read, but I remember that it was good and I remember that it was Reese's.
That happens to me. Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe I got that wrong idea. I was thinking you weren't into books or something. Maybe because I asked you once and then you didn't have a book.
I didn't have a book.
That's what it was. Okay, I got confused.
No.
My bad.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Anyways, but now you've got a new one.
Yeah.
Okay, I want it after you finish it.
I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, cool.
Okay, but you also have, I want you to share, this isn't really a question, it's a loaded question, but you have an upcoming project on the house that's mid-project, actually.
My house. Oh, it's outdoors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, y'all. Okay, so we finally just did the backyard. And it's because we had the whole noxious weed situation. And so
it was
we couldn't plant immediately.
Down. It was hideous.
Yeah. We couldn't plant them. There's so many of them. There's everywhere. And they were taking over the yard. And so we were advised by the landscaper to get that under control and then plant, the following season or even, a little bit beyond that, which is what now is. And so we finally have gotten the backyard done, and we've chosen for not much plantings, just because, all of the topography, it slopes. And
you have a steep slope.
It's pretty steep. So
and you have a retaining
we have poured
wall.
pads, these concrete pads, and everybody's like, okay, you poured some concrete in your backyard.
Nice.
I'm like, yeah, that's
beautiful.
all we did. We poured some concrete. But anyways, the concrete pads are just big enough on one end, fire pit.
so nice.
So I just got a big, huge copper pot cauldron thingy at the antique store.
Oh, and that's going to be your
And that's going to be it. I mean, it's not a built-in fire pit.
Where did you have it? I haven't even seen it.
It's out back right now.
Oh my gosh. I
know. It's out back. Anyway, so that's out there on one end, on one pad of concrete. On the other pad of concrete, I'm putting in my redneck pool, which happens to be a 6-foot diameter livestock trough.
Oh, like the horses and the cows drink from.
But it's round.
Oh,
it's round.
Oh, it's round.
And it's corrugated on the outside.
So is it galvanized?
Actually, the one that I'm going to get is a combination of galvanized, and it's got some painted aspects on it, but of course neutral and black and you know, all that good kind of stuff. Yeah. And it's got, just like you would have for livestock, it's got a place at the bottom like you do on your cooler where you can get your,
you can unplug it.
Hits the stop and you can just drain it.
Oh, when are we trying that out?
I know. So anyways, we're going into a bad time of the year. So I'm not going to place it up there until probably May or June. But yeah, it's already a done deal.
So are we going to post
a beautiful
in it? I'm going to take a picture of you in it and we'll post.
No.
Yes. Yes, we are with our cocktails. Yes, we are.
We could hop in there with some cocktail beverages and maybe some big hats or whatever, but literally like,
I can't wait.
It's just big enough for maybe 2-3
I think you should
people.
put it in sooner because, you know, that longevity stuff that I've talked about was about we could do cold plunges.
Oh, my gosh.
We don't have to sit in there for 10 minutes, though. We could just plunge. We should put it in sooner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I can plunge. I don't know if I can plunge and be outside.
I think it's a wonderful, invigorating challenge. We're going to do it.
You are crazy
pants. We're going to do it. I'm going to make you get that.
You're crazy pants girl.
Okay, we've been
talking for a while. Did we cover anything design? We talked about paint color a little bit.
We talked about paint color. We talked about I wanted to talk to you. I did have another good question for you, but we are a little long. But okay, let's just throw out. This will be our last one.
Okay.
Custom design furniture. I know you've done it because I know you did it for your showroom. You did a beautiful slipper chair. Actually, I'm sitting in it.
You are.
I love these chairs.
I know.
But would you do what do you recommend on custom design furniture? And I don't mean fully upholstered because I think that's an easier task. Like this slipper chair is easier because you put beautiful fabric on it and it doesn't really.
Yeah, and as long as you get
exactly. If you get the proportions right, you can't miss. But more like. I remember you telling me a story once, and I don't totally recall it, but it was super funny. You made some chairs or something, and they were super overscaled. I don't know. What was it?
Oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So when I lived in Dallas, it was shortly after I'd just kind of like, gotten out of school and, I'd been to Atlanta, came back, getting all settled, whatever. I was tasked with some custom chairs for one of the projects I was working on. And the workroom, most of the people that were in the workroom and even the owner of the workroom, they were Spanish speaking. Mm-hmm. And of course, if anybody knows me, they know I don't have an ear for language at all.
They all know that here. Oh, all the Salvationites know that. She can't pronounce her perfume still.
I can't pronounce anything. Mm-hmm. So I can't even pronounce the common, terms. So anyhow, I had a little language barrier, I would assume, and I ended up with these 2 custom chairs that I had drawn. I was so proud of myself. I had sketched them all out. I had dimensioned them, the whole thing. But because he was Spanish speaking and I didn't know proportions of furniture just yet or whatever. They were the biggest chairs you have ever seen in your life. Like when you go on vacation and they have those big chairs for you to sit in that say Seabrook or, whatever. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was
they weren't that big.
No, it felt like it was that big. And I kept thinking, and they were in this beautiful brown suede. And I thought, for the love of me, I couldn't understand why I had to order so much suede.
Was it just like hide after hide after hide?
Oh, it was just an enormous amount of suede. Like, I just remember thinking, really that much? Mm-hmm. I show up at the workroom and I'm like,
yeah, what'd you say?
Oh,
it's like on steroids.
First of all, language barrier, and I'm like trying to figure out how to say too big, too large, too whatever. I'm like freaking
What
out.
did you do? What did you do?
We had to start all over again.
they just weren't salvageable.
I just was
Could you take the suede off at all?
That's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
We were able to cut the cushions down.
Okay.
No problem. So we remade those. That was great. We took as much of the suede off of the chairs because let me tell you, these chairs were like 5 feet wide. They were like chair and a halves. They were so huge. I don't know where the breakdown on communication was, but they were humongous. So we took them and we took all the suede off that we could because the suede that was on these chairs was definitely larger than the suede I was going to need on my normal chairs.
You were going the right direction anyway.
And he remade them for me. I have never seen 2 bigger chairs in my life. And that was back in the days when we didn't have phones and we didn't have
they wouldn't take a picture and send it to you.
I would have loved to have had a picture of that.
Yeah, of course, because you would have known right away.
It was like, it was just the craziest thing I'd ever seen.
I think that, and that is technically upholstered furniture, but again, that could be fixed. I've done a custom coffee table once where we copied this beautiful table, and our copy looked phenomenal. I loved it.
But you switched it up a little bit so it was yours.
Oh, yeah. No, totally. Yeah, we didn't copy it. No, exactly.
You can't do that.
Well, no, I'm sorry.
And sizes and proportions.
But you
kind of knocked it off.
In the style of this sort and it had this Greek key detail and it had this inlay that was super special that nobody was doing. But it did not hold up because, it didn't hold up particularly well because unless you know your workroom so well and unless you know your finishes and you have super confidence, then I'm the one backing up this expensive custom thing.
Of course.
And I just realized how tricky it really is. Like you've got to...
Having a good workroom is so essential. I had a similar situation where I did a live edge table and I was not privy to how dry or how much moisture you can have in a piece of wood before it starts to shift and move and crack and, do all sorts of things. And I was shipping it from our climate to a much drier climate.
Oh, yeah.
And it had not acclimated
before
enough
they built
to
it.
The drier climate. I had to remake that dang table all over again. It was crazy.
Custom's super tricky. I would just be very wary and make sure you really know what you're doing or do the upholstered pieces that can be corrected.
Absolutely. Yeah. Be cautious about that and just consider all conditions because, wood will move and you've got to make sure that
your paint finishes won't hold up or whatever you decide on. And then you are the one backing it up. And that's just, if you're a young designer, that's going to be super tricky.
Yes, it'll be super tricky. And yes, you need to learn how to do it. And yes, you've got to do it and all of that, but with caution, definitely with caution. But you know what? I can tell you right now that the experience that I had with those honking chairs, man, really, really set and trained me, even though it was 15 years prior for developing the furniture line that you're sitting in now and doing all that. I had a huge learning curve and a huge learning experience.
And if I had that coffee table to do over, what I would do is go to a company that does something in line with that and customize one of their existing products.
That's usually a really safe way to go because those companies already know what is working and what's not working.
Exactly.
And they will advise you.
And that's it'll a better end up being more expensive, but it's a bigger insurance policy for you.
It is a bigger insurance policy, and usually your outcome is exactly as you expect. You don't have any unanticipated issues. So
all right. Well,
I think we did pretty good in giving y'all a lot of crazy all over the place random information
I think we were a big
tales.
Attack. Yeah, I think we did good.
We do appreciate you listening, and we do appreciate you following us on Instagram. And ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
Hey, y'all. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also find us at designsalvation.com, where we'll have the past podcasts listed as well as show notes. Hope to see you there. Hey, I brought you a cup of coffee, I think.
Thanks, honey.
It's cold outside, and I feel like I want something
it's so
a little
gloomy.
bit like, warmer.
Thank you. I feel coffee. I'm going to have it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Oh, Lord. What'd you put? Oh, that's got something in it. It's not coffee. What's in there?
It just has a little had Joe Bailey's.
Oh, you little naughty.
I did. Okay, this is the deal. I was going to put a little splash of cream in there, and then I got worried that my cream was not going to taste good. So I was like, well, I'll just put some Bailey's in it. They'll for sure taste good. I didn't put literally a tablespoon.
You only brought me half a cup, which is perfect.
I know.
Otherwise,
I didn't bring you much. Yeah. I just wanted something warm.
Lovey, little naughty.
You're welcome. I'm naughty.